The Australian stock market has slowly started to stabilise after being sold off heavily this morning by investors concerned about a global recession. Let's go live to our business reporter, Ed Boyd. Ed, the market began the day down more than 6%. What's the latest now?
Market started the day down about 6.7%. That's roughly 160 billion wiped off the ASX 200, but it has fought back, as you can see here. As we speak, 3 hours into the trading day, the market's down just over 4%. So it has made a bit of a recovery. Clearly, there are some investors with a bit of confidence that see this as a buying opportunity and are buying some shares. But if we go to the next page, this really was all triggered from over the weekend with the big sell-off in the United States due to fears around a global recession. And you can see these are the biggest companies on Australia's stock market. When they fall, the stock market will obviously get dragged down. CBA down almost 6%. BHP, big issues from investors around whether China's economy is going to require as much iron ore to purchase. So that's the likes of BHP and Rio Tinto. They're both being sold off. CSL, Australia's biggest healthcare company, off sharply as well. And then Wesfarmers, which owns Bunnings and Officeworks and various other assets, a big retailer, losing as well due to the sort of potential decline in consumer spending. But if we go to the next page, here are some other big companies to fall. The two in the middle of the screen there, Ampol and Santos, both deal with oil, and the oil price has just eroded over the past 3 days. Buy now, pay later companies Zip down almost 10%. South32, a diversified mining business, off about 8%. And then Pro Medicus there at the bottom of the screen, a radiology company, has been sold off heavily for basically the past 3 weeks. But if we go to the next page, we can see some more things that are falling. Now, the price of gold was at an all-time record high about 4 days ago. It started to fall as well. Crude oil in the past 24 hours is off almost 2.6%. And then the Aussie dollar, earlier this morning when we were chatting at 10 a.m, it was at 59 US cents. It had fallen below 60 US cents, but the dollar has fought back slightly now as we're speaking at just after 1 o'clock. It's just above 60 US cents. So there's been a little bit of a recovery here, Kieran, from investors. They're clearly obviously concerned with the big falls we've seen in the market, but it is starting to fight back because Australia is a bit more insulated from the United States than some of our other peers around the world, which are going to be hit heavily when their shares start trading later tonight.
Ed, Asian share markets, though, they've been sold off heavily too.
Yeah, Asian share markets are closely tied in with trade with America. You think about, on the screen here, you can see the Nikkei in Japan off severely. Hang Seng down almost 10%. That's the Hong Kong market. China has been hit hard. Kospi 200 is Korea, South Korea. Obviously, the bottom of the screen is New Zealand. But these countries here, you can see on the screen, the top 4 sell billions and billions of dollars of items to American consumers every day, such as cars, electronics, white goods. So these investors are really concerned that that market is going to tank for them and that tariffs are really going to affect American consumer spending with their choices on where they want to purchase their products from in the future. And speaking of futures, you've got the futures market here for the United States. This is what the market is expecting to see when the Wall Street opens late tonight. So the S&P 500 losing 3% is the potential, Dow Jones losing about 2.4%, and NASDAQ potentially off by almost 4%. So clearly there's going to be a big period here, Kieran, of market uncertainty. We're going to see stock markets fall again tonight in America, and it's going to be another tough day for investors in Australia tomorrow as well.